Hey everybody, welcome to another edition of Rider Club Radio. I'm your host Jeff.
And I'm Liam.
And this week we watched Kamen Rider X8 Episode 2 and Animal Sentai Zyuohger Episode 33. And it was a pretty good week for Tokusatsu, I think.
Yeah, it had its ups and downs.
Yeah, we'll see. Why don't you tell us about what happened on X8, Liam?
Okay, so this week on Kamen Rider X8, Emu officially joins the cyber rescue team. And he meets his co-worker Hiro, who is the director's son. And Hiro is Kamen Rider Brave, and he's a big dickhole. He takes his job very seriously. He's not terribly passionate about being a doctor. He
doesn't think patients are human beings that deserve any sort of respect or acknowledgement. They're just things to be fixed.
Exactly. That's his character right now. He's an amazing surgeon. He's perfect at being a doctor. Chicks dig him. He's like a celebrity surgeon.
Yeah, that was a little much. Like when there are nurses outside, like acting like schoolgirls.
Yeah, he's given open heart surgery, and they're all out there like, "Oh my god, he's so hot."
I guess that's the only way that like children will understand that he's popular and well liked.
Yeah, chicks dig him. So they go to take care of a bugster. There's a bugster in a guy's face, and they go to take care of it. And Brave appears, and he just crashes the whole show. And he takes care of the bugster real good, or he's gonna take care of the bugster real good. But then Genom appears and fucks both of them up, X8 and Brave, and then runs off for no reason. So everyone's really confused. They take the patient.
If I was X8, I would be really pissed off that Genom exists. Like, why am I the only one that has a dark palette swap? Why can't I be, like, original, like everybody else? This is shit.
Mighty Action X is a popular game, Jeff. It's a pretty popular game.
I guess.
So, okay, so they take the patient back to the cyber rescue thing, and then they go and fight the bugster at a church. Because the bugster ruined him because he was so stressed because his fiancée said she didn't want to marry at the last second. So they're fucking going to this church, and there's the bugster there, and he's like a wizard bugster, and they fight him, and Kamen Rider Brave again appears, crashes the party, and he fights the wizard bugster, and there's a big fucking fight, and there's treasure chests everywhere, and he hits him with an ice sword, and he beats him, they beat him together. And after that, they go back to Cyber Rescue. They sort of settle in there, have some pie, but they still hate each other. There's still a very strong rivalry.
Is it just me, or is Liam getting worse at these descriptions as time goes on?
Look, I got the gist, alright? I got the fucking gist. Jeff, what did you think of Kamen Rider X8 Episode 2?
You know what? I liked it.
Me too.
I liked it a good deal. I mean, X8 is slowly finding its footing, I think. I think your big problem with the last episode is that they were trying to force too much in at once, which I kind of agreed with, but I thought what you were bitching about the most was fine. I think that this show, now that I've seen the opening and the way it's framed and shot and everything, especially the tone of the opening with the way the scenes transition throughout the opening.
I love the opening.
I think this series is going to have a little bit of a harder edge as it goes on.
It seems like it. They like I said, I didn't like how the first episode had so much shit in it. This episode's a lot tighter. It's a lot more focused. Mm-hmm. It's all about Brave. And Genom makes an appearance, but that's his thing. He jumps in and fucks everyone up and then leaves. That seems to be the thing with him.
It's a teaser. He's a teaser.
Yeah, he's a big tease. So I liked Brave. I liked his little. He has, as much as he seems like the stereotypical dick secondary rider, the Baron, the Knight, the whatever. He has this little edge that he eats a lot of cake and pie and shit because he has to replenish his sugar levels after a battle.
He loves sweets.
And they play it 100% straight until the very end. I did not like it's fine when he's just sitting at the table eating cake. And sort of the image is a bit of a juxtaposition, that's fine, but the show treats it 100% serious. At the very end, they make a bit of a joke out of it, and I think they should have saved that maybe for when he's closer to the end of his arc. This is a really small nitpick I'm making right now, but I mean, it was like I said.
I like that joke.
I did not.
I like that joke because it humanized him a little bit, because he was like a robot man.
I liked him as a robot man.
It gave him the little bit of humanization that makes you want to know more about his character and everything.
I think that should come next episode. I know I keep saying this. This should be next episode.
Next episode is about Skunk Man.
Snipe.
Man with skunk hair.
The man with the skunk hair. They're throwing all the riders at you one after the other.
Yeah, that's the thing. They have to put all the players on stage if there's going to be a lot of inter-rider conflict.
Yeah, this is...
Or else, if they don't... See, my problem when they start introducing riders that are going to play, like, a huge part in the story later is that it feels like it ruins the dynamic they've already set up with the riders they've introduced already.
Mm-hmm.
So I would rather have them introduced earlier if they're going to play against each other for the majority of the series.
See, I like a story that's slower paced than that. I know I'm fucked up for saying that after Ghost.
No.
Ghost was too slow paced. I like a story that takes its time.
People can fucking nitpick everything you say, which they will and do.
That's fine. That's what I'm here for.
But, man, I'm not here. Fuck off. But there's a difference between a slow story that does it well and a slow story that's like a fucking glacier slowly moving across the Arctic.
It's the difference between a story that moves gradually and sort of gives you the like it advances slowly versus a story that does not advance. Like Ghost was like...
Yeah, it's the difference between a story that moves and a story that doesn't move.
Yeah, if you want to get technical about it, yeah. It's I like a story that's a little more gradual. If there's shit happening constantly, I like stuff to be happening, but like not too much stuff. You know, I mean, I feel like that's a reasonable complaint, and X8 had me worried. But it seems okay. Like you said, they're setting the board up with all these riders, and I did really like this episode. Like, they didn't fuck it up. They haven't fucked it up yet.
So far, what it seems to be doing, and here's a theory.
Okay, throw me your theory.
What it seems to be doing is setting up the rider characters that are related to Genmu Industries, right?
Mm.
Or whatever the fuck the industry is called.
Industries. We're calling it Genom.
Genom. It's like, it's setting up the riders that are like rider system users or whatever, like game rider user, good guys.
Gamer drivers, yeah.
Yeah, it's setting them up, and then once they're set up and they're sort of against each other or whatever, they're going to slowly start introducing the leaders of the Bugsters and what Genom is about.
Yeah, they hint at this one dude who looks like he wears ridiculous pants with the Tetris pattern on him. He's hanging out on a roof. I think that was
is Pallid.
Pallid, that was it. He's a leader, very obviously, of the Bugsters. And I guess he's going to come into play later, like you said, once they get the board set up.
And maybe I'm just giving him a little bit too much credit because I've enjoyed what I've seen so far, and I'm so desperate for there not to be another Ghost.
Look, they can't... Toei doesn't fuck up anniversary series usually. Usually.
Have you seen some of the anniversary movies?
Not movies. Series. They didn't fuck up Gokaiger, they didn't fuck up Forze. They're not fucking up Zyuohger.
Well, they fucked up Decade.
Decade was the Heisei anniversary. It's different.
Yeah, whatever.
It's a different beast.
I'm excited for X8, though. Like, I got really excited when I got to see the opening today.
Oh, I love the opening. I absolutely love it.
I do too. That is a 10 out of 10 opening.
My favorite part is when all the riders are standing there in the circle and then they just start beating the shit out of each other. They start fighting and going back and forth. I'm like, yeah, that's my show. I want everyone to hate each other. I want X8 to be full of hate and suffering and fear and anger.
Alright, don't start touching your dick now. We're doing a podcast. That opening is great, though.
It is
and
really
I was
good.
really excited throughout the whole episode to see everything. Maybe not Poppy Peepo Papa Pop.
Pop, peep, pop. They
Big
downplayed her.
Big Papa Peep Popo Pump.
As long as she doesn't say the phrase Kamen Rider X8, I can tolerate her. But when she says the phrase Kamen Rider X8, the way she says it makes me want to kill myself and then the world.
It makes you want to kill myself. Speaking of saying the word X8, the opening has one of my favorite things about Japanese culture that I understand nothing about, which is the fact that the guy singing the song can speak perfect English. He does it throughout most of the song. Every time he says something in English, it's perfect.
Yeah, I don't want to know.
He says, like, I'm on a mission right now.
Yeah.
In perfect English. And then he still says Ekusite.
Yeah. It's the Chris Pepler syndrome.
You have to force yourself to mispronounce things in English.
Exactly.
If you're Japanese.
Yeah, that's how it is. No one's going to fucking understand you if you say exactly. You have to say exactly.
Exactly.
Exactly. It's how it is over there. That's how they learn.
We always joked about Tendo, how he fakes a Japanese accent when he says English words.
Tendo was right all along, it turns out.
Who knew?
It's why when there's that scene when he's sitting in the theater and he says stronger and strongest in perfect English,
Yeah.
and he mixes it in with the Japanese. It sounds so fucking weird. I think that's why they don't do it.
He's like, Uri wa strongest.
Yeah, that's it. It's like they dubbed over that one word. He adopts a totally different voice.
But I mean, the singer singing perfect English like a second before he starts saying ekusite.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
It's the same tone and everything. I don't know. I have no idea why that happens.
You know, the song is starting to grow on me.
Dude, I fucking love that
I
song.
hate to admit
I was
it.
just listening to it earlier.
It's got this EDM vibe to it. It's pretty good.
It's very 90s boy band.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
And I love like Japanese versions of dumb American pop styles.
Yes.
I love them.
I love whenever Japan does a thing that's like, here's how Japan sees America. It's the best fucking thing ever. That's why we got stuff like Deadly Premonition and Metal Gear Solid and all the best things.
It's how you get stuff like Chibbity Crockett and G Gundam, the
Chibbity-
best
yeah,
Gundam
Chibbity
protagonist
Crockett.
ever.
Yeah.
X-Aid is doing well so far. I'm really excited for it. Like, I haven't had any like big moments that made me think the series might be going in a negative direction like Liam has.
Like I said, it's nitpicks. I'm nitpicking. I really like the show so far.
That's what we're here for. We were supposed to be nitpicking Ghost, and then we saw what happened to it.
Ghost was a big nit. It just fell on me.
We just picked the whole thing.
You can't pick the nit. You got to get two power lifters and lift it up. X8, it's hard to find things I hate about it other than Poppy, and even the things that I used to not like about it are starting to grow on me. Level 1 is starting to grow on me. Because like
Level 1 is used so well for what it is.
Just like the cake scene that I like so much is they don't, other than the very first time it's used, they never acknowledge that it looks silly. It's just like, here's my armor, here's my fighting armor, and I'm gonna fight, and that's it. They don't fucking say it. They don't make a big comedy show of it. They just do it, and I love that.
Speaking
love
of
it.
comedy shows,
What?
there was a moment that I'd laughed a bunch of times in this episode, but I like guffawed, like I LOL'd at one part.
Yeah, you lulled. Okay.
I lolled, I
fucking
lamayoed
asshole.
at this
Okay.
part. It's when he tries to transform to level 2, and Asuna just keeps turning it back over and over again. That's good comedy. That translates to every language.
Yeah, that's a universal. I was waiting.
I'm a little tired of them banging their knees on things. That's not very funny.
Yeah, well, that's the theme. That's the narrative theme of this season.
The only character that can bang his knee on something and consistently be funny every time is Kramer. That's it.
Kramer's got license to do a lot of things comedically.
Oh, he can't say the N-word.
Well, no, well.
Dredging up old news on Rider Club Radio.
All our shit is old news.
That's true. Once we get to the news section, we'll see.
What else? I love the bit when they generate the level and there's all the treasure chests everywhere in X. He's like, hey, you're not opening the treasure chest, dude. Do you play video games?
And he's like, what are you talking about?
Fucking time for video games. I'm like, fucking...
Yeah, that was a beautiful moment of character, like, show don't tell of characterization, where Emu, the video gamer who understands that this is video game themed, he has that meta knowledge, says, you're not even opening the chest, do you even play video games? And Brave, who doesn't give a shit about video games, is like, what?
I like to think, I think the show is implying that Brave doesn't care, but I like to think it was that he didn't know. He just thinks it's just decoration.
He might not, honestly.
Yeah, but like I said, the show continues to stick the action. I love the action. I love the special effects. The meatball monsters are ugly, but it's everything else is fucking perfect.
The meatball monsters gives a good excuse for characters to use their environmental powers.
Yes.
Like our hero X-Aid using his jump on platforms powers.
It's a good excuse to just have people jumping around in general.
Yeah.
Get the roly-poly level 1 out there and roll around.
There was a better fight scene this week that we'll get to.
Oh, yeah. Well, I already know which fucking one you're talking about.
Oh, yeah. There's a really great fight scene in this episode as well. There's a couple, so...
All the fight scenes are good.
And there's a great moment of show don't tell as well, where, and a lot of times recently, when there's a dickhead character, his entire modus operandi is treated as being shit from the get-go.
Yeah.
I don't really like that. I like for the hero to have to work to prove that his way is better.
Yeah.
That doesn't really happen that much anymore. But Ex-Aid wants to save the guy's fiancée. Mm-hmm. Because wizard monster's keeping her hostage.
He's tying her up with some Helheim vines, yeah.
Yeah, Brave doesn't give a shit about that. And he comes in and he's like, you're letting your care for the patients cloud your mind against the operation or whatever. And Ex-Aid's like, fuck you, I'm gonna rescue her anyway. And he jumps to rescue her. And by the time he gets there, Brave has already rescued her by not caring.
He beats the monster so bad that it can't kill her. He's right. Brave is
He's
right.
He's absolutely right
yeah.
in that scene. There isn't a ton of attention brought to it, but he's right in that moment. And Emu will have to come to terms eventually with the fact that he's not perfectly right all the time.
Yeah, I hope that's true. I hope they don't turn this into a big Brave was wrong all along, but this. Say what you want about him, about Hero. He's kind of an asshole, but he's exceptionally good at saving people's lives. That's just what he does for a living, even if he's a little callous about it.
That's the question, isn't it? Do the ends justify the means?
Mm-hmm.
There's a whole song about that.
I heard about that. The show is shaping up to be really good so far. I think in the hands of even just a writer who isn't a total fucking idiot could do something pretty good with this, and I'm praying.
The characterization of Emu is really good.
Rock solid.
I really enjoy his character.
Yeah.
And just like I said before the whole series started, I was hoping he would have a completely different personality as Ex-Aid. And they do it so well that he switches to that personality before he even transforms.
Yeah, when he knows he's gonna fight.
Yeah, there's a moment when the wind hits him. And he smiles, and his personality is, I'm gonna fucking beat the shit out of this game. I'm the best gamer ever.
It's just like a real life actual dork would be when he's like, oh, I'm a superhero, I'm gonna fight some fucking beasts.
It's not self-aware about it either. He's being shit on by in-universe jokes for being a dork and thinking he's a hero or whatever. Mm-hmm. It's just played perfectly straight. And I love that, because that's exactly what I would do if I became a Kamen Rider. I'd suddenly just be cocky as shit.
As soon as you have superpowers. I like, Emu is actually a really good character. I like his motivation for staying in CR is that he doesn't trust Brave, how callous he is about handling patients. He's like, that guy can't be the only rider in the CR. I have to help.
That's good motivation. It's better good motivation than I want to help people because I want to help people.
It's good because not only does it flesh out Emu's character, but it also creates a relationship conflict between the two of them that's going to come up a lot. They're going to butt heads, and it's going to create some interesting shit, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So I'm excited for that.
I'm excited for that too. I don't get the world's tiniest boner every time riders fight riders, but I still really enjoy it.
If ever there was a real life Kenzaki Shiro, it was me. I just want them to Tatakai all day and all night.
It's true. If you've ever sat and watched any Rider series with Liam, he will mumble under his breath, Tatakai.
If two of them are in the room eating dinner together or something, Tatakai.
It gets really disturbing if he's watching it at night, honestly. You hear him in the next room, Tatakai. Great episode. Really enjoyed it. Solid.
Episode
Very
2
solid.
of X-8 was fucking sick. It had an amazing fight scene with Brave fighting the wizard outside.
I like Brave's power set, that he has fire sword and ice sword. That's pretty fucking cool.
One of the most incredible fucking things about this episode is he generates... We've learned for the first episode and the first half of the second episode that generating a level is just putting some blocks around. Yep. But in this one, it adds a little shrine for a legendary sword that he pulls.
That's so cool.
That's so fucking cool.
That is the coolest shit, man.
That's pretty sick. It makes it look a little bit like, in that shot, it looks like it could be an RPG setting. Just for a brief moment.
Also, when he transforms, he, like, steps out of a castle, fully transformed,
His
and then
transformation
disappears.
is fucking sick, too. Yeah.
There's also, whenever they use their final attack, there's this really fucking awesome, like, I would call it Scott Pilgrim-esque graphic that appears on the screen.
Oh, yeah,
showing that it's their final attack.
You mean that swirl that goes around their weapon that looks like it's made with sort of like a...
No, I mean, it's when they, like, hit the button and it's, like, whatever the hell their final attack is called.
Oh, and it, yeah.
And, like, it appears in text on the screen and it shows, like, split screen of their face and their weapon powering up.
That thing is fucking cool. That little
I
shot
love
they
the
do.
shit out of that. Like, the design of everything in this show is spectacular. I really like the wizard monster, even. I thought he looked cool as shit.
Yeah, he was neat. He did a cool scepter. The best shot in this episode, and I'm going to make this the picture on the blog post because I liked it so much. Usually I just pick out a random still that looks dumb. I think that was just from watching Ghost. I just picked out the stupidest things I could find from every episode.
Yeah.
There's a shot where when they're outside the church and they're fighting, X8 goes level 2. And as he's falling towards the ground, the world is a game level, and then it turns back, and you can see the layout of the game level, like, is the real world. I don't know how to describe it, but it's like...
Oh, it's like when he's... Like, when he jumps down the stairs.
Yeah, he's jumping down
like,
the stairs.
The stairs are made out of pixels.
And there's little Sonic the Hedgehog rings in the background, and the church is all... The trees are all pixely and shit, and he lands, and it, like, becomes a real world, and it looks so fucking cool.
It looks
so fucking good.
Like, the special effects in the show, I've never said this about a Rider series, right? Except, like, practical effects. But the special effects in the show, 10 out of 10. I fucking love them. The goo monsters are dumb, like the ball things, Vector Man monsters, but everything else.
It's a brilliant little workaround to a low budget. Toei always has the low budget. But the way they use it, the whole flat aesthetic, the pixel aesthetic, the 2D aesthetic, you can do it cheap. It looks good. It fits the theme. It's fucking glorious.
It's like I said last episode, I think I've found the Rider series of powers that I would want. Like, the powers out of all Riders that I would want.
The video game power, yeah.
Video game powers.
Yeah. I think I might have to buy a fucking Tattle Quest now.
Yeah, I'm probably going to get Mighty Action X. I'm not going to lie.
You should
Especially if the rumor's true and you can actually play games.
You should save it for Mighty Brothers Double X.
Maybe, we'll see.
Maybe, we'll see. I don't know how expensive that one's going to be.
So, watch this show if you're not watching it already. I know a lot of people... Actually, no one. No one's listening to this. Like, should I watch X8? Tell us, Jeff and Lee.
Nobody's I have to wait for Rider Club Radio to tell me what to watch and what not to watch.
Yeah, no one on Earth is doing that. But for the fictional people that are doing that, watch Kamen Rider X8. It's really great.
Yeah, if Ghost burned you out, don't let Ghost burn you off of this, because this is totally different and way better.
Absolutely. If these characters can make the final 2 episodes of Ghost slightly palatable... then you know that they're fucking amazing.
That's an Olympian feat, to be sure.
No kidding. Well, how about we hear some news, Liam?
Sure. This isn't strictly Rider related, but it's very cool. The original 2005 Garo series is getting a 2017 official release in the West.
I knew that because somebody sent us an email about it.
Yeah, well, I got it. I got a news article on it here. That's pretty fucking sick.
Yes, it is. That's fucking cool as hell.
Toku's been coming to the West a lot recently. Sentai did it, Ultraman did it, now Garo's doing it.
You know, I believe if you rewind the series back to even worse episodes, if you can believe it, we were saying that there's no way Kamen Rider would ever come to the West. And I think it could now.
They're squeaking around it. They're dancing around it as far as they could. But I think with Garo, if Garo can make it to the West, Kamen Rider can make it to the West. It's
a matter of picking the correct Kamen Rider series to bring to the West, because Garo has a very adult sensibility.
Yeah.
And they've already seen that bringing Kamen Rider to the West is like Dragon Knight wasn't successful.
Or Masked Rider.
Yeah, I'm sure that even people at Saban don't think about Masked Rider anymore.
Masked Rider is a stain on history.
Oh, yeah. You think about, like, the greatest atrocities of mankind, like, Masked Rider's pretty high up there.
It's like 2 or 3, yeah. Number 2. It's a delicate thing, but I think once they can settle on a show and bring that over. That'd be pretty
Well,
good.
I mean, Amazon's supposed to be coming over.
I guess Amazon's is the first official sub coming over. While we're talking about other Tokusatsu series, Jeff, are you going to see Shin Godzilla?
Yeah, I am going to see Shin Godzilla.
Fucking sick.
I don't, but
really?
I'm hoping it's good.
It's a Godzilla series by Anno. How could you not at least be interested in that?
I am interested in that. I just don't think it visually looks very good. I don't like the design of the new Godzilla at all.
I like his design a lot.
I know I'm in the minority on this. Like, a lot of people have really gushed about how much they like it. But I just don't.
Wow, that's a shame.
It's like, my favorite Godzilla design is probably Destroy All Monsters Godzilla.
Oh, yeah. That's a good one.
Besides, of course, like, the beautiful Hanna-Barbera Godzilla cartoon.
Yeah.
That's the real best.
Of course, number one.
Ew. Best design of Godzuki.
Ugh. I'm excited. Imagine if Anno wrote a Kamen Rider series. How would that shit be?
I don't know, man.
You have like Kamen Riders with locked swords, and then it would just be they'd stand perfectly still for like 83 seconds. With just a shot on them.
I don't know. Anno's hard to figure out, like what he would do exactly. I'm sure there would be a lot of Christian imagery in it.
Yeah,
that's about it.
It'd be pretty sick, I think. He'd bring him up to the table. Toei, you should scout this guy.
Yeah.
You might have heard of him.
Like, Toei's gonna be able to pay for that shit.
They paid for Urobuchi.
Yeah, well.
They paid for the Madoka Man.
I don't know if he has the same kind of salary that Hideki Anno has.
That's true. Probably not.
Probably not.
Well, scrape some shit together.
I'm excited for Shin Godzilla, though.
I'm pretty excited for it.
Especially after I was mostly disappointed with the American Godzilla.
Oh my god, that movie fucking sucked. I'm not gonna pull my punches on it. I hate it.
Dude, I'm not gonna pull my punches either. There's a great movie in there. It's 20 minutes long. It's everything that has to do with the monsters.
I'd say there was a decent movie until Bryan Cranston bit it.
Yeah.
He was the only interesting character in that he dies.
This is the exact conversation we had like 3 episodes ago.
Does it?
But...
Look, Godzilla sucks. I mean, the new one sucks. Let's just move on.
It wasn't a good movie. Like, there was good stuff in it, but it wasn't a good movie.
Yeah, I'll agree with that.
Do we have any more news?
Yes. So a trailer got released for the new Movie Wars movie. And,
oh boy.
Also a poster. We just got some news about it in general. Pac-Man is going to be in the movie.
I know. Here's the thing about Pac-Man.
Okay,
I
tell me about
fucking love Pac-Man.
Of course.
I played all of the arcade games, played all like the Super Nintendo Genesis games, the PlayStation 1. All of them. Play them in Smash all the time. I watched the fucking American cartoons of Pac-Man.
Oh my god.
Like, where he wore like the little fucking like fedora hat, and he was a businessman, and he had like a family.
What the fuck?
So I love Pac-Man.
Yeah, I can tell.
There is no quality control for Pac-Man anymore. He's the fucking Ghostly Tales or whatever.
Ghostly Adventures, Jeff, get it right?
Yeah, the Ghostly Adventures is a piece of steaming shit.
Yes.
The designs are terrible. There's no aesthetic to it whatsoever. And they're just gonna put him in what the fuck ever. It doesn't matter anymore.
Who cares? But this is, come on. You have a video games writer. You got Bandai Namco, obviously, working on the toys.
Pac-Man is the OG. I mean, there were games before him, but he was the first video game mascot.
Yeah, he's the most iconic early character. You know, fucking Tennis for Two didn't have a character in it.
There was no main character in Pong.
No. But
there was no main character in Asteroids.
Here I was seeing this Pac-Man gadget last week, and I was like, oh, is it fake? Is it real? I don't know.
No, it's real, baby.
Yeah, it's fucking real.
I wonder if they're gonna... in like a perfect world, right?
Mm-hmm.
In an absolutely perfect world, they would have a suit built like the level 1 suits.
Yes.
But just be Pac-Man. Like a big fucking plastic Pac-Man with arms and legs.
Yes. This is so fucking good.
That would be amazing. He's gonna be a CGI abomination, though.
And from what I can gather, with my stupid non-Japanese face,
Okay.
It's Ghost and Ex-Aid versus Pac-Man?
No.
Come on.
It's not.
That'd be so fucking good.
It should be Ghost versus Pac-Man, though. There's been a lot of enmity between those two people.
Imagine if it's Pac-Man and he's gonna eat the whole world, and you have to Rider kick him.
All right, go on.
No, that's it. That's the whole thing.
I'm on board.
That's the whole thing. That's my whole fucking prospect for a movie.
Pac-Man's not a villain.
Yeah, well, he could be.
He's not like Mario, where he fucking like abuses apes.
Mario does not abuse apes, okay? Donkey Kong was a bad man.
No, fuck you. Donkey Kong escaped because Mario was abusive.
No, he did not. Donkey Kong immediately kidnapped women.
Learn the lore!
Learn the lore. Look at the thwomp behind the gate. Learn the
lore.
Right over the ocean on the egg.
Mario fucking had a whip. He was standing in Donkey Kong Jr., he was standing next to Donkey Kong's cage, and he had a fucking whip.
You know why? Because Donkey Kong kept kidnapping the love of his life.
Yeah, the love of his life that he's still with to this day.
Okay, look, I mean, you don't know how your life's gonna go, okay? Nobody has plans laid out all to the end of their fucking time.
Nobody knew that Pauline was a fucking whore.
No, not at that time.
I'm sure. Wouldn't it be funny though if like the real story was that like Mario fell down the pipe or whatever and ended up in the Mushroom Kingdom, and Pauline was just like, "Where'd he go? Is he dead? What happened?"
That's it. The police report said he just fell down the pipes and no one ever found his body.
So like she's just like thinking she's a fucking like widow before she was married. She wears all black for the rest of her life.
You're getting too deep into the lore here. This is the Mushroom Kingdom Historia.
This is the Mario lore cast. Why is the thwomp green?
Imagine a podcast dedicated where you just take one thing, where like a certain Koopa wandering in a level, and you're like, "What's he doing there?" And you just for an hour discuss like his backstory and what it could be. I've got a gold idea. Someone pick that up.
There we go. There's one Koopa Troople on top of this block, but it's only long enough for him to take one step and then turn and take another step.
What the hell is he doing?
What's he thinking? What's his life's goal?
Who put him there?
What's he gonna do?
It's gonna have also. It's a Movie Wars movie, so it should usually only be X8 and Ghost, but it's also gonna have Wizard and Gaim and Drive in it as well. Probably not.
They knew that Ghost couldn't like hold up half a movie himself anymore. They knew better than that shit.
No, the other writers are going to be literally carrying Ghost through this movie on their backs.
Hopefully it's his real corpse. Like his ghost is trapped in another world that we don't see.
But why? I don't know what they're doing bringing these other writers back when they're obviously not going to get their face actors.
I don't know.
It's a mystery.
Maybe it's only those because they can get their face actors.
No, come on. Gakusano is not going to come back.
I don't know. Gakusano loved Rider.
Yeah, but that's... like, if you're a Kamen Rider guy, and you do stuff after Kamen Rider, which Gakusano has done, you usually don't come back. It's a stepping stone.
Hey, now, Ren Kiriyama? Is that the name? That's the name of the guy who played... Shotaro.
Yeah.
I always get him and like Ren from Ryuki mixed up because their names are very similar.
Ryuki Ren is
Akiyama.
Akiyama Ren, yeah.
Yeah. He's fucking like he's done stuff since Double. He was in like a series of movies that were about like an office. They were like romantic comedies.
Well.
He was one of the love interests.
They got a bunch of people back to do voices for Betrayed War Genesis, so maybe maybe they scraped the money together. That'd be awesome.
Maybe they broke into that water budget, got him some real food.
They cut down Shinken Red's water rations by about half to save the budget. Jeez.
I love to think that he still just lives in Toei's fucking lot and he just drinks water all day. Can I be in another show now? No! Get back in your trailer!
Just a single extra shot glass, please.
Don't be greedy. The guy who played Super 1 still lives in the back. He ran out of money after all the lawsuits.
Yeah, Super 1 is in jail for scamming a bunch of women.
Did he actually get sent to jail for that? I knew they were going to bring him to trial for it.
I don't know. Maybe it's probably still going through legal pipelines and shit.
I don't know. Japan doesn't work like that. Japan's like, you go to trial, your ass is going to jail 9 times out of 10.
Well, he's probably rotting in prison then.
Yeah, that's what he gets.
That's what you get for scamming people, Super One.
You should have just lived off the fame of your one role from the 70s forever.
He's there with
other
Paul
writers
Anthony
did.
now, hanging out in the same cell.
Oh, that's why there's not been a Panther since.
Yeah, you got a Super Sentai guy who's in jail. You got a Rider guy who's in jail. There's a Power Ranger who killed the dude with the sword. He's in jail.
Yeah, there was a period where everybody was making jokes about that, and there was like a whole brigade of people like posting tweets and stuff like, "You guys aren't taking this seriously. You're not giving it the gravitas it deserves." And I'm like, that may be true, but this motherfucker killed a guy with a sword.
Look, when you're on Twitter, all bets are off.
How am I gonna hold back comments about this shit?
What do you expect me to do? Just sit here?
What do you expect me to be, like a decent human? Is this a joke? No, they were right. You probably shouldn't be making jokes about that. But,
well,
you know, time makes fools of us all.
If ifs and buts were candy and nuts, we'd all have a Merry Christmas, as they say.
I've actually heard that stupid phrase before. I can't call you out on that one. Is there any more news, or are we done with news?
That's it. That's the news.
Well, that was pretty good news this time.
It wasn't bad. I managed to stretch 2 stories out for a while, actually. I'm getting better at this.
Good padding.
Yeah.
Good padding, Liam.
That's yeah.
You gotta put something in the podcast.
You want to talk about Zyuohger?
Yeah, let's talk about Zyuohger. In this episode of Zyuohger, we learned that sumo is the national sport of Japan. Liam, what did you think of Zyuohger this week?
I thought this was one of the weaker episodes of the show, actually.
It was mostly a comedy episode, which I enjoyed, but it didn't really have much to do with characterization or anything.
That's the thing. As much as I enjoyed it in the end, I did like it, kinda. I feel like Amu and Leo have zero chemistry. Absolutely nothing. Zilch.
I feel like they're not putting a whole lot of effort into Amu anymore.
Yeah, I mean, she's
to
not...
begin with, they set up like that she was like really intelligent and like she was putting on a brave facade and everything, but they never really touched it again.
Yeah,
and,
they could have had.
She's become like her whole thing is that she's like a manipulator.
Yeah, yeah,
which is fine, but they could have done something like fun with that. And Leo,
90% of this episode, she doesn't do shit. It's just Leo. They go to learn
sumo. The guy holds out the sumo diaper and he's like, "Here, put it on." And I was like, "Yeah, Amu, put it on."
She's like, "I don't want to put that on." I was like, "Okay, she's just gonna wear a different outfit and learn sumo." And she's like, "No, I'm just not gonna do sumo." Okay.
Yeah, that was a little strange. I was like, is it because it would offend Japanese sensibilities if a woman was a sumo?
A woman in the sumo ring? No, can't be done.
We're not gonna dive into that.
I don't think that's the reason. I think it's just, I don't know what the fucking proper. I think they just didn't have the time. They or something. Like I don't know what the reason would be.
I think it might have been like it would have been a little bit too much in Japanese culture for that.
Do girls do sumo in Japan?
No, I don't think so. Sumo? Actually, let's take a second.
Let's go over to the learning corner for a second.
Computer, I have a question.
Beep boop. Sumo is Japan's national sport.
Aha! In Japan, sumo wrestling is almost sacred. Steeped in tradition, sumo has long been the ultimate old boys club, a sport dominated by larger-than-life men, a realm where women are not welcome.
Oh. Just like my apartment.
In the professional ranks, they are forbidden from even stepping into the ring, let alone wrestling.
Wow. Different world over there.
Yeah. I mean, times are changing, but some traditions are long held.
Well, I guess we can congratulate Amu for kind of breaking down barriers at the end of this episode.
Yeah,
when she steps into the sumo ring and fucks up the sumo man.
I mean, I guess it would have been a little much for a child show if like Amu was like, "Yeah, let's learn sumo," and both of the guys laughed and said, "Haha, you pathetic woman. You can't learn sumo with your fucking vagina."
That would be such an obnoxious episode. I hate stuff like that.
I do too. You can't learn with your fucking slightly wider hip bones.
I think I would have preferred if she just did it. She just did the sumo, and just
I would have preferred that too. But
don't make a big deal out of it. Don't talk about how. Like
I mean,
you
you think
sumo's
about
a boys'
like
club, whatever. Just do it.
You think about like there was some children's book series recently where it like came to light after like years that this one kid had two dads, and like the fucking world was set on fire by this.
Is it
like,
Captain Underpants?
Yeah, it turned out that one of the characters had two dads, and people like lost their fucking shit with rage. I imagine the same thing would happen if a woman sumo wrestled.
It happened. It happened
Well, she
this
didn't
week.
learn sumo wrestling. She never stepped foot in a real sumo ring. Only the fake ones created by the monsters. Parents at home, you can't get mad.
That's true. Don't call us. Don't call Toy. Dude, I wonder though, like, if the average John Q Japanese public in the street gives a fuck.
I don't know.
I doubt
That's like I don't understand a whole lot about Japanese culture. I will admit every time I talk about it, I know nothing.
That's why I'm wondering. I'm wondering if just like Joe Schmo or like just some little Hiroshi's mom who sits down and wants to bond with her son and watches an episode of Super Sentai, will she actually care about the whole like Amu stepping into the ring?
I don't think she's probably even watching it.
That's true. She's probably just spacing out, looking at Leo.
Yeah, Leo's the one, right?
It was a fine episode, but I'm disappointed because Zyuohger is usually above fine.
Yeah, it was okay. That's how I felt about it too.
It was a Leo episode when it should have been an Amu and Leo episode. Like Amu does one thing towards the end, and that's not really. Like I said, they have no chemistry. She was underused.
I agree with that. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
That's the verdict. Kamen Rider made up for it this week. I think.
Yeah, I mean, this is the first episode of Zyuohger that I wasn't like super wowed by, except there is a fight scene in this episode of Zyuohger that is fucking top notch.
Which one?
It is so well choreographed. It's the one when they finally actually defeat Sumo, whatever his name is, like before he gets turned giant.
Mm-hmm.
And it is so perfectly choreographed that they're like ducking in and attacking and moving back, and someone ducks in and attacks and jumps over the other person and attacks.
Yeah, very fancy choreography that Zyuohger has.
It's really entertaining. I watched it twice, actually.
Oh,
I watched
did
that
you?
fight scene twice.
That's funny.
It's because I love fight scenes.
Yeah.
And Tokusatsu sometimes glances over the fight scenes as, you know, we just have to have a fight scene in this episode, so there is one.
Yeah.
But Zyuohger hasn't done that. There's always interesting fight choreography whenever the team fights someone.
There's real effort put into it, and also they always call attention to the Monster of the Week's gimmick. They always bring that up in the fight, which is I appreciate a lot. It adds variety.
Absolutely. And, I mean, like, I love Kung Fu movies. I'm a huge fan of all Kung Fu movies.
Kung Fu movies are pretty sick.
And when I watch Tokusatsu, it's really sometimes depressing to watch a fight scene in Tokusatsu where they punch somebody and then run up and punch them again.
Yeah.
For 5 minutes with explosions happening.
It's a goddamn shame.
So I appreciate everything Toei's doing with Zyuohger when it comes to fight choreography. That's some good shit.
I think Super Sentai and Kamen Rider, they have like a well in the middle of the Toei building of quality that they both have to draw from. And Zyuohger just like fucking brought like 2 garbage bins and just took all the water, all the quality out of it for like a year. And then X8 came and was like, well, I want to take some quality. And they stole some quality this week. I'm pretty sure that's how it works over there, actually.
That's a pretty good theory, honestly.
That's probably how
whenever
it actually goes.
Kamen Rider is really good, Super Sentai tends to be not so good.
Watch
and
Zyuohger
vice versa.
Yeah, watch Zyuohger just absolutely go to shit now that X8 is on.
God, that would be so sad.
That'd be so sad. It'd be terrible.
Yeah, this episode was alright. It was
okay.
funny. I enjoyed it. I laughed quite often during it.
Mm-hmm.
There was some really cool, like, it took me a second to understand what the fuck they were talking about anytime they talked about sumo ranks.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed, like, the graphics that appeared whenever a sumo rank went up.
Yeah, they went the extra little mile that they made a big show out of it. It was pretty good.
It was entertaining on a surface level, but it was missing that lower level of entertainment, like that base of entertainment that you get out of character interactions and development that Zyuohger usually captures so well.
Yeah, this was a week.
It was a week, was it?
Week, yep, for Zyuohger.
Well, I still enjoyed it, but here's hoping that next week it recaptures what it's lost.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll pick up again. Zyuohger's good.
So, now that we've talked about those, how about we read some emails?
Oh boy, lay 'em on me.
How you feel about that, buddy?
I feel great.
Alright, our first email.
Alright.
Is from Dewey Defeats Truman, who writes in a lot. Thanks for that.
Hello.
Who says, the Wonder Swan in the first episode of X-Aid got me thinking. What are some cases of blatant product placement that come to mind in Kamen Rider or Super Sentai? All I can think of is the Shoei bike helmets, because they're in like every single series.
Yeah, I noticed that when I started watching Riders. Everyone uses a Shoei helmet, regardless of what year it is.
The most blatant product placement that comes to mind is all of it. The whole series of Kamen Rider.
I think Apple
product
Computers.
placement.
Yeah, but I think Apple Computers has the most. I'd say.
Yeah, Apple Computers is in almost every series since they signed a deal with them.
Fucking every time someone has a computer, it's an Apple.
Yeah.
My favorite
or a
scene,
phone.
Yeah.
Anytime somebody has a phone, it's an Apple phone. If it's not part of their transformation gimmick.
Unless it's a Cube phone or Go Kite Your phone or whatever. My favorite scene in all of Kuga is when he sits down at a table and eats a McDonald's meal, and he's like, damn, this meal is delicious, even though it's cold. I love it, and it's my favorite food, and he looks straight into the camera.
Yeah, it's the first time he ever blatantly lied in the series.
That's still 1846.
I would rather eat out of a fucking cold garbage can than eat cold McDonald's food.
McDonald's does not hold up. It
No,
doesn't. You have to eat it within the 30 minutes.
If you take 25 minutes to get home, you might as well throw it in the garbage.
It's fast food. You get it fast, you gotta eat it fast, or else it's fucked.
Exactly. There is a timer on that shit. And it's not set for very long.
What else?
The thing that comes to mind immediately, even though it's a fucking like Toei sponsored product, is Wind Scale.
Wind Scale?
The clothing from Double.
Oh.
Like, Shotaro wears nothing but Wind Scale clothing, and it has the logo in giant letters on the sides of all of it, and they sell all of that clothing.
Yeah.
Still to this day. So that was the one that popped into my head immediately when I wasn't thinking about how the whole show is a commercial.
It's always funny to me to see writers wearing name brand products. In Agito, there's a few episodes where Shoichi is wearing a Puma sports shirt. It's like 2 episodes where he's wearing it, and I was like, I didn't realize it at first because I didn't recognize the T-shirt. But then I saw the logo on the side, and I was like, wait a second, that's a real T-shirt they put on. What are they doing?
Yeah, they do that every now and then.
Yeah, it doesn't happen often nowadays. I know Gaim had a lot of Roots. There's a lot of Roots product placement in Gaim, but
I'll tell you what, probably Honda.
Honda, yeah, Honda.
Like all the motorcycles have been Honda for a really long time.
Yeah.
So that might be another one that's pretty obvious. I don't know, maybe those Toys and Ghost is probably the most blatant.
Fuck that. Yeah, I guess if that even counts as product placement.
That is absolutely the most blatant. When I read that question, I laughed though because I was like I said, the whole show.
The point of the show is to sell the products, yeah, the toys.
But yeah, Shoei bike helmets is in all of them as well,
Shoei
so that's
is,
a good
yeah.
one. Our next question, if I can fucking open it.
Do your best.
What the fuck is? There we go. Our next question is from Copper Popper, who also writes in a lot. Thanks for that.
Good morning.
Who says, "Hey guys, still love the podcast. I really like X8 and hope it gets better over time. My question for you guys is, if you could have a stand based off of a Rider song, what song and what would it do? I just caught up in JoJo's and have it on the brain. I think I'd choose Justifies, because it's a cool song. It would connect people to events and make it seem like they caused them. Great for Fies, because it can result in even more conflict. Keep up the good work, guys."
That stand power is part 8 as fuck. That's a part 8 stand if I ever saw it. That's JoJo-ian, yeah.
What would you choose? What Rider song would you choose?
Shit, you're putting me on the spot here.
That's right, motherfucker.
Ooh. I'm wheeling through every song in my brain.
Yeah, it's a tough question. I think I got 2 answers for this.
Okay, you go first.
I think I choose Believe Yourself. Because it's my favorite song. And it would be one of those stands that doesn't have a lot of physical capability, but gives me the power to make anyone believe what I say.
Oh.
Or, even better, it gives me the power to believe 100% anything I say to myself. And it comes true.
That's perfect.
Like, I believe myself, no matter what.
You believe yourself so hard.
Like, if I say, I'm stronger than you, I believe it and become stronger than you. And it has to be negated by a stand that has that sort of reality warping power. It's super OP.
That's incredibly overpowered. That's a villain stand.
Yes, it is. My other choice is Ride on Right Time.
Of course.
From O's, which gives me the power to turn back time for a short period of time so that I'm never too late or too early. I can move time forward a little bit or move time backwards a little bit. So I'm always riding on right time.
You're always right on time. I'd take Rise Up Your Flag, the Kachinoki theme.
What can you do with this power?
As to what it does, I have no fucking clue. Maybe,
figure it out, motherfucker.
Okay, how about it makes an area, like a big sphere around you, where everyone in it becomes stronger. Because you rise up the flag and it, like, inspires them.
That's pretty decent. That'd be a good, like, support type.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty cool. You gotta position it so the enemies are outside the sphere and so they don't get in.
That's true.
It's a delicate stand to use.
I would say Ride on Right Time would also have to be kind of physical.
Mm-hmm.
And I would probably choose that one so I wouldn't be, like, the kid who's like, no, my powers make it so I win.
But that's what you want. You want the power to win.
I want the power to win. All I have to do is say, I win.
Yeah.
And I believe myself. Oh, he also wrote another email directly after that said, P.S. If I had a gamer driver, I'd be a tabletop sim rider who's just various tabletop RPGs.
That's pretty brilliant, actually.
That is pretty good. I think I'd still stick with a side-scrolling beat-em-up.
Yeah.
As mine.
Yeah, it's not a bad choice.
PPS, We Think Therefore We Are is fine, Jeff. I think the music in Ghost was the actual high point.
Yes, Suck My Ass. It's a good song.
I want everybody who like felt bad that I said they had shit taste to know. I was just saying that to make Liam fucking mad. Like, I hate the song, but if you like it, that's fine.
It's 50 to 60% of the stuff Jeff says is to make me pissed off, so don't take it too personally if it offends you.
Yeah, I hate that song. But the funny part is, I like almost every other song in Ghost.
Ghost had a fine soundtrack.
Ghost has a really good soundtrack. It is the high point.
The only good thing you can say about it, actually.
But I hate the opening theme.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry that you're wrong. I'm sorry.
Well, I guess I'm sorry about it too.
Your opinions are opposite.
Our next question
okay.
is from Sam, who says, Hey Jeff and Liam, I think this week's Zyuohger episode had the best fight of the whole series so far against the Sumotron just before the block battle. Hey, I just said that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, wow.
They seem to keep getting better with the fights as the show goes on. I can agree with that. Like, the choreography is getting even better, which I didn't think was possible. So my question is, what are your most memorable fight scenes in Tokusatsu? It could be martial arts, sword fights, gun fights, or even disgustingly dull magic fights. Keep doing what you guys do. Sam.
My most memorable fight in Tokusatsu is from Heisei vs. Showa. It's the one where, remember that you get that Kamen Rider 15 guy, and he uses all the powers of the 15 Heisei riders. He gets the arms.
Liam,
Jeff, are you there?
Are you fucking shitting me right now?
No. Hear me out. Hear me out. Okay, listen to me for 2 seconds.
Are you fucking shitting me right
now? No,
I
need you to stop. just pay attention to me. He uses the arms. There's a part when he puts on, I think it's Forze arms that he has on, and the fight scene immediately slows to a crawl, and it's him just flailing his arms around like an asshole. The image of that fight is burned into the back of my retinas because it's so fucking bad.
That's your favorite?
No, it's my most memorable.
Oh.
The question isn't what's your favorite, it's your most memorable.
Oh my god.
That's the one that I remember a lot.
Most memorable.
Most memorable.
My most memorable might be my favorite.
What's that?
That's the fight between Kuga and Daguva.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's like my favorite, and it might be my most memorable, but I don't know. That's a tough one. Maybe my most memorable. Oh, God. Maybe the first fight where Meteor takes place in it. And he does all of his fucking sick Bruce Lee ass flips and shit. And attacks and everything. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with Kuga versus Daguva.
That's not a bad choice.
That is my most memorable.
It's a great choice, actually, yeah.
That is my most memorable. It's the thought that comes to my mind whenever I think of a good Kamen Rider fight that doesn't rely on special effects.
Absolutely.
And I know people thought it was boring, but you people are fucking dumb. So
That's true.
Our next question is from Vac, who says, "Hey guys, I don't know if you'll be covering this in the news this week since you aren't covering Garo shows right now, but I know you've seen some Garo, so I figured I'd ask your thoughts on Garo coming to the West." We did cover that, actually.
Yeah, how did you not fucking hear that? Why are you still asking
Aren't you
us this
paying
question?
attention?
Jesus Christ, dude.
Personally, I think it's pretty cool and hope it's a full DVD release with subs, and maybe even the option to watch it on a streaming site of some sort. Thanks for reading my questions, and keep up the great work as always. I'm excited, sorta.
Yeah, we basically already gave our thoughts about it. I'm pretty excited.
Like, I'm excited in that new people might be attracted to Tokusatsu from it, and they get the chance to see Garo, which isn't as popular in the West as a lot of other Tokusatsu.
More people getting exposed is always good.
And that's great. I'm not really that excited because I've already seen Garo through twice now, and I love it, so it's nothing new for me.
Well, that's a shame.
I'm excited for others.
Yeah. Maybe I'll watch it.
Yeah, no you won't.
No.
You haven't even finished Agito yet. Hey everybody, Liam hasn't finished Agito yet.
Look, I'm moving through it at a faster clip than ever before.
What
so
episode are you on, Liam?
35.
Oh my god! Jesus, I think our friend Tamaz is almost past you, and he started like 6 months after you.
Look, I savor a show, okay? I savor it. I take my time with it.
If you would have been savoring food for the same amount of time, it would have disintegrated in your mouth by now, and you wouldn't even get a nourishment from it.
Look, I'm still watching it. I'm still watching it. I'm gonna watch the movie now.
Alright, so our next email
Okay.
is from James, who wrote us a bit of a lengthy email here, so if I skip over anything, just understand it's because I hate you.
Mm-hmm.
Let the games begin, pun intended. Started watching X-Aid today, and I'm liking what I've seen. At least it's better than the last series. My thoughts on Poppy Peepo Popo is that they're trying to combine the somewhat serious girl and eccentric quirky girl together so that they can save on the budget, something I don't mind. That's
You only get
probably
one
true.
actress, yeah.
Actually.
You minimize the amount of females on screen at once. It's always good.
Damn, kids are going to love this series. With the reveal of this year's crossover, I know this would never happen, but the Smash Brothers fan in me wants more movie-exclusive forms based on the 4 game mascot icons. X-Aid with a Mega Man form, since 2 versions of Mega Man fight viruses. Drive with a Sonic form, since both have super speed and fight robots. Gaim can have the Pac-Man form, since both of them are associated with fruit. And Wizard can have the Mario form, since Mario fought supernatural creatures before. That's reaching.
It's a little bit reaching.
You're reaching.
Wizard jumps occasionally. It's fine.
Ghost can be eaten by Pac-Man for all I care. Agreed. My question is, when the legendary rider Gashats are revealed, which rider would you want, and which gamer rider would get them? Have a good one, and calling Ghost fanfiction is an insult to fanfiction, since most of them are something Ghost isn't. Good. Oh, and enjoy this Baron gif I found. Let me open this. Real live reaction to a Baron gif.
Okay.
Oh, it's the gif of him thrusting on stage.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
we just
Seen that one
just
before.
know that one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the question is, which rider would you want for the legendary rider Gashats, and which of the gamer riders would get which?
Ryuki.
Of course. I would probably want double.
Yeah. I guess I can't be surprised.
Why?
Because you like double a lot.
I do. I have a fucking double driver upstairs.
Yeah, you got a double driver, so.
But I'd also like Kuga, Agito.
I like all
Blade.
of them, really. I mean,
but I probably wouldn't get any of them since I think the Legendary Rider series things are like dumb as shit because they're all the same thing.
well, here's something clever. You'll like this. In the news for the new movie coming out, the Movie Wars movie, there are Legendary Rider Geshats, though, but they make video games out of them. Like it's called like Super Gaim Adventure or whatever. Like it's not just the Gaim form. They actually make a little video game out of the rider.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Yeah, a little extra bit of effort put in there.
And to save a little bit of time, let's do post-decade riders for which gamer rider would get one.
Oh, what?
You heard me, bitch.
What?
I gotta say, as much as I hate it, X8 would probably get Ghost.
For sure.
Because Ghost is the last one.
In fact, he is going to get Ghost. We confirmed that.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
But it's true.
You can't escape
That's
it.
true. Brave would probably get Wizard.
Yeah, if you're going to divide, yeah.
I don't know about the rest of the riders.
Well,
Genom might get Wizard, actually. I don't know.
I bet Brave will get Drive because he's the second furthest. That's how you can easily
This
measure
question's
these
a
things.
little difficult because I don't actually know anything about the other riders yet.
Snipe will get Gaim because Gaim's got a gun sword.
There you go.
Genom will get a gold drive.
He'll get Wizard.
I'll give him, just fucking thrust that on him. Who cares?
Just who gives a shit about Genom? Who gives a shit about Wizard?
Yeah, exactly. They're perfect for each other.
I think that's it.
That's it? That's it for emails?
That's it for emails. That's it for the show. So everybody follow us on Twitter at Rider Club Radio.
Or send us an email at riderclubradio@gmail.com.
We obviously read them on the air. You just heard a bunch of them.
Yeah, so do that.
Wait a second. I just remembered that we might have some questions on Twitter.
Here, I thought you were going to tell me, like, hey, my mic's been off this whole time.
Oh,
or something like that.
no.
What?
My mic's been off the whole time.
Oh, fuck off.
We have 2 questions from Paris on Twitter. They're DM messages, which you can just tweet at us. In the interest of time, we're only going to read one of these questions, the one I enjoyed the most.
Okay.
If Liam shoved a Geshat halfway down his throat, which one would it be?
Now, I saw a scan for a new Geshat this week called Mighty Action Brothers Double X, something like that. And it's absolutely huge. It's twice as thick as all the other ones, so definitely that one.
We know how Liam rolls with the fellas. I was going to say Bang Bang Shooting.
Why's that?
Because that's what you wanted to do. Ba-dum-bum. Hey, thanks for watching or listening
Dick
or
sucking.
whatever you're... What? Thanks for listening, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Good night.
Good night.